Up next, we delve into strategies for strengthening the backbone of BARM's agribusiness sector, our cooperatives and enterprises. Joining us to share insights on creating competitive and sustainable agricultural businesses across the region is a distinguished leader in agribusiness development. Allow me to introduce our keynote speaker properly. Mr. Datu Hamsur Zaid is the Chief Agriculturist of the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Agrarian Reform or MAFAR, where he oversees agribusiness development, market linkages, and support services for farmers and enterprises. He currently serves as the Project Director of the BAEP program as well. He was also designated as the IREP Component Head of the Philippine Rural Development Project, contributing to enterprise-driven investments and rural economic growth through coordinated support to farmers, organizations, and agri-based MSMEs. Please welcome our keynote speaker, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Datu Hamsur Zaid, again, the Chief of the Agribusiness and Marketing Assistance Services Division of MAFAR BARM, as he presents on creating competitive cooperatives and enterprises in the BARM agribusiness value chain.
Hello. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Honorable representatives of the European Union, distinguished guests, colleagues from national government agencies, fellow officials of the Bangsamoro government, colleagues in AMAD, leaders from the private sector, cooperatives, MSMEs, development partners, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good afternoon to each and everyone. For today's session, our topic is about empowering cooperatives and entrepreneurs' business competitiveness. Next slide. Okay? Next slide. To see the context, let us first look at the overall condition of the agriculture and fishery sector. Based on the National Agriculture and Fisheries Modernization and Industrialization Plan 2021-2030, rice, corn, and coconut account for about 74% of arable land, yet profitability remains low due to small farm sizes and limited productivity. Fisherfolk and coconut farmers remain among the poorest sectors despite the country and the Bangsamoro region being rich in water resources. These national challenges are also strongly felt in the Bangsamoro, often more severely due to access and geographic constraints. Next slide. Within this broader context, the situation becomes clearer when we look at the poverty levels. In 2023, based on the PSA data, poverty incidence in the Bangsamoro region reached 34.7% among farmers and 43.9% among fisherfolk, translating to around 195,000 poor farmers and 69,700 poor fisherfolk. This is significantly higher than the national poverty incidence, which stands at 27% for farmers and 27.4% for fisherfolk. Next slide. On the other hand, on the side of the smallholder farmers and fisherfolk, the food sector faces persistent challenges, a mismatch between supply and market requirements, weak production and aggregation, lack of economies of scale at the production level, trader-dominated markets, and high logistic costs. While these are national issues, they are more evident in the Bangsamoro region, where infrastructure and market access to market remains limited. Next slide. Given these challenges, it is also important to understand the enterprise landscape in the Philippines. This is data in 2019. In the Philippines, medium and large enterprises comprise 1% but contribute 74% of value-added products, while micro enterprises comprise 89% but contribute only 6%. In the MAFAR database, because we have our TWG and cooperatives, over 2,500 cooperatives and associations have requested support for technical assistance and other supports. Also, accomplishment report shows 2024-25 that approximately 389 FFCAs have been served through various farm inputs, fishery supports, and also 289 FFCAs under Nabafar Lens project. Next slide. In response to these realities, allow me to share the strategic approaches and initiatives of the ministry. Next slide. Consistent with these strategies, MAFAR adopts the value chain analysis approach to identify bottlenecks, issues and concerns within the segments of the value chain, to improve the efficiency and guide farmers toward more profitable products with respect to the priority commodities in the region. Through BAEP, partners such as ECCP, Oxfam, IOM, UNIDO, and People in Need conducted value chain analysis at the start of the implementation, ensuring that interventions are market-driven and evidence-based. So 2 points yung tinitingnan natin dito. Sa side of the government or side of enablers, on empowering cooperatives and associations, we will look at the issues in the value chain and we may include them in our regular programs and projects. On the side naman ng cooperatives and association, look for the segments in which they can earn higher income and profits. So kailangan natin matingnan yun. Next slide. From value chain analysis, we move to concrete market-oriented interventions. Through MAFAR Lenke, MAFAR Ramadan, Agri-Fishery Fairs, Kadiwan ng Pangulo, and direct market linkages, we connect farmers and fisherfolk directly to consumers and institutional buyers, reducing the role of middlemen and improving price transparency. At the same time, the smallholder horticulture and empowerment promotion approach promotes farming as a business, enabling farmers to plan production based on market demand. This approach shifts from a grow and sell mindset to grow to sell mindset. Cooperatives and associations that are beneficiaries of this can now independently conduct market surveys, resulting in an increased net income from 5,251 to 8,134, a 55% growth. This progress is evidenced by the Ipanasangan Farmers Marketing Cooperatives in Barira, Maguindanao del Norte. Next slide. Some notable accomplishments in the advent of these initiatives. Mr. Abdul Qadir Adam, the president of Kauyagan Farmers Cooperative in Makabiso, Sultan Mastura, Maguindanao del Norte, is now a regular supplier of vegetables to Robinson Supermarket in the Mall of Alnor, Cotabato City. Hopefully, we can link them to KCC in the near future. Next slide. Another concrete example of this approach is seen in our institutional market linkages. The ministry, in partnership with MTIT, has successfully facilitated the delivery of 10 tons of Caraba banana to International Food Manufacturing Corporation in Davao City. And the beneficiaries are Mr. Gyasali Salim of Sultan Sabarungis and Mr. Tirso Sarin of South Upi, Maguindanao del Sur. Next slide. To sustain these gains, we have to follow a structured enterprise development process. This slide shows how cooperatives are developed, starting from organization and capacity building. And we've been hearing earlier the CISEA on our discussion. Moving to product identification, registration and accreditation, and eventually market expansion. Each stage builds on the previous one, ensuring that cooperatives and associations are not rushed into markets without the necessary systems, skills, and compliance requirements in place. Access to capital is addressed through MAFAR Lens and the PESO program of the MTIT, while multiple agencies and partners provide technical, regulatory, and market support at every stage. Together, this staged approach reduces risk, improves enterprise readiness, and helps cooperatives and associations grow into reliable and competitive market players. Collaboration and also collaboration. Okay, next slide. Supporting this process is a strong focus on organizational development of cooperatives. We've been hearing that earlier regarding organizational development. In this slide shows how we assess cooperatives and translate the result into targeted capacity development interventions. On the left side, we identify the priority areas needed to strengthen cooperatives such as strategic and business planning, disaster risk reduction and business continuity planning, enterprise monitoring, and skills training. On the right side, our organizational assessment highlights gaps in the vision and goals, leadership, membership, project and financial management, service delivery, and sustainability. These findings guide organization development interventions which are institutionalized through Enterprise Operations Manual to ensure sustainability and long-term impact. Next slide. These success stories demonstrate the results of our organization development approach where targeted assessment and capacity building interventions translate into real and measurable outcomes. Ms. Badria Piang, the chairperson of Barangay Adsal SWC Agribusiness Marketing Cooperative in Macadayon, Talitay, Maguindanao del Norte, shares how the cooperative grows stronger with the help of the various ministries, donors, and agencies. On the right side, Anisa Socor, the chairperson of Haro Farm Agriculture Cooperative in Barangay Cajera, Marugong, Lanao del Sur, shared how the cooperative grew from manually producing virgin coconut oil to a fully equipped operation with the help of the assistance from the government and other partners. Next slide. Underlying all these efforts is the importance of coordination and integration among stakeholders. Effective agribusiness development requires strong coordination and integration among government agencies, LGUs, cooperatives, the private sectors, financial institutions, and development partners. By strengthening coordination, we ensure policy alignment, avoid duplication, and maximize the impact of limited resources while linking production with markets, finance, technology, and logistics. One concrete example is the success of the coffee farmers from Amay Manabilang, Lanao del Sur, also a beneficiary of BAEP, whose products gained national recognition at the Philippine Coffee Expo 2025, also supported by the EU BAEP Crescent, the PRDP, and the MTIT. Overall, coordinated action allow us to build a cohesive and responsive agribusiness ecosystem that supports sustainable growth in BARM. Next slide. Bringing these elements together, this framework shows how we empower MSMEs by strengthening market access. We start on the left side, the farmers, fisherfolk, ARBs, and MSMEs as the foundation of the value chain, supported through various programs of the government and other agencies. At the center is the enterprise development, palagi na lang yung capacity building, training on business planning, packaging, and labeling, to improve the products and ensure proper packaging and labeling to make producers market ready. Through Mafarlengke, SHEP, and trade fairs, we connect them directly to buyers and markets, ensuring inclusive and sustainable market access, especially for small producers. And for the last slide, before I conclude, I would like to highlight the two quotes on this slide. As Tony Robbins reminds us to identify your problems, but give your power and energy to solutions. This reflects our direction, acknowledging challenges, while focusing on practical and forward-looking solutions. At the same time, as Thurgood Marshall said, that the measure of the country's greatness is its ability to retain compassion in times of crisis. For the Bangsamoro region, this means keeping our farmers, fisherfolk, MSMEs at the center of development. By pursuing solutions-driven actions anchored on compassion, coordination, and commitment, we can build resilient, inclusive, and competitive agri-fishery enterprises in the Bangsamoro region. With that, maraming salamat. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Datu Hamzur Zaid, for your presentation on creating competitive cooperatives and enterprises in the BARM agribusiness value chain.